think I'm about to say something that won't surprise you. I am a huge fan of Top Gun Maverick. I think the film was incredibly well done. I think it honors the original in the only way that you can go about doing it, and it speaks to how you can go about creating a quality sequel, even from a franchise that's been dormant for 36 years. Tom Cruise did his very best to make sure that this was something the fans would enjoy, and he speaks to that right at the beginning of the film. So, what do you think Hollywood will take from this success? Let's dive into it. Here we go. In 1986, Top Gun was released upon the public. It was a unique story told in an incredible way, and it glorified one of the coolest schools you could go to or have the privilege of being permitted to get to, which is Top Gun. You got an opportunity to fly with the very best and to become the very best. Of course, that film did rather well, and a lot of people have loved it throughout the years. So it would be a tall order to introduce the same character in the title role, featuring the title school, to the same audience all these years later. And yet, it was done very well, and probably because Paramount kept its mitts off the project. After getting the green light from Tom Cruise himself to move forward on a pitch that, let me tell you, he absolutely loved, it was very simple to pull together Mr. Bruckheimer and Skydance and make this thing happen, and I'm glad that they did. But so is the box office, and that is something we can talk about. Over the course of the weekend, this film earned over $250 million worldwide, and as of Monday's update, $260 million. Wait, $300 million worldwide. Huge numbers. And it doesn't matter the fact that we just came out of the global crisis, or that we're being told there's another thing around the corner that nobody seems to be buying into. This film did rather well at the theaters, and it brought every age group back. It earned itself a place in history as being one of only 57 films to have an A+ cinema score, which, let me tell you, that's hard to do. You also have the fact that it's got incredible reviews on Rotten Tomatoes, 97%. Nearly unheard of. One of the most staggering things I think about the film is the fact that pretty much everything that you see on the screen, for the most part, is really happening. They used practical effects. They put the actors in the jets. They really did. They subjected them to a training regimen prior to filming so they would be prepared for the intense G-forces that their bodies would be put into, whatever words you want to use there. So what will Hollywood take away from this success? Well, they'll probably go grab some older 1980s IPs and try to drag them into the modern world, and that's a real problem. And that could be the biggest mistake that they make. They will continue to ruin IPs the same way they've been doing recently by trying to drag in things and put them in the modern world. You can leave things where they are. You can make them a period piece, or you can actually honor the source material like they did for Top Gun Maverick and give you the same character the same way in the same world. They can actually drag up a reality that exists, a lived-in world that we all know and love very easily, and not some dystopian idea that they have of what the world is today to a small handful of people. You don't have to introduce the concept of agenda. You don't have to introduce a narrative that talks about unfairness in a way that doesn't truly exist for most people. You don't have to figure out a way to tell a story to any particular specialized class of people, newly coined or not. You just have to respect the film, the nature of the previous film, and the character themselves. Is that something Hollywood is even capable of anymore? Top Gun Maverick seems to show that it can be done. I think Ghostbusters Afterlife also did an excellent job of that. And there have been a few other films this last 12 months that have been worth your time. And whatever you think about The Northman, it certainly appealed to a lot of people. It was just too expensive. Will Top Gun Maverick perform even better over the course of the next few weeks? For whatever reason, I think so. I think this film has a lot of legs. I think the great word of mouth is going to carry this film forward. I'm not sure it'll reach the heights of $1 billion, but it could. I'm not sure it'll even catch The Batman or Doctor Strange 2, but it could. It could even surpass them. In fact, a lot of people weren't convinced that it would be able to actually set a record and beat the previous Jerry Bruckheimer film, which happened to have been a Pirates of the Caribbean, but it did. Of course, this wasn't hurt by the fact that it released on more screens than any other film. It just didn't have a lot of competition. The last thing that anybody was interested in is any of the other films, which, was indicated by the fact that only about $15 million came in for Doctor Strange 2. And the animated features have had their day, so maybe this film has a lot more room to run. We'll know more on June 10th when some competition arrives in the form of a dinosaur. I'm curious to see what the performance of that film is based on the one that was out most recently, which is somewhat disappointing to many fans. But then Tom Cruise comes back again with another beloved character. He's going to be playing Ethan in Mission Impossible, I don't even know anymore. Dark Reckoning is the name of the film, Part 1. I have a feeling that film will do well also. But what do you think? Do you think Hollywood's gonna learn a lesson here and try to keep characters the way that they are in future films in a world that's familiar and not something contrived? Do you think that Hollywood is learning the lesson, however expensive it's been over the course of the last few years? And do you think that Mission Impossible Dark Reckoning will perform as well? I guess we'll have to see, but please utilize the comment section down below, and hopefully we can engage on those many topics. I don't think Hollywood's in a position to crow at this point, but maybe they can claw their way back. We'll just have to see. With that, do support other independent creators here on the platform. They could certainly appreciate your support when you utilize the like button, when you subscribe to their channel, and of course when you engage with it in any way, which would include commenting and sharing their videos out. Speaking of which, I have a brand new channel out there. It's going to be officially launched at 12 p.m. Pacific, Wednesday, June 1st. It's called Cultured Builds, and it features, me building things. It's a DIY channel. So if you're into that kind of thing, you want to learn how to build some basic things, you want to learn how to do a few more advanced things, this might be the channel for you. So do check it out. The premiere today, again, on Wednesday, June 1, is noon p.m. Pacific. I hope to see you there. And with that, be sure to take care of yourself, take care of others, wash your hands, of course, because it is good hygiene. And until next time, bye. Thanks for visiting today. Be sure you're subscribed and hit that for alerts.
Yay!
Of course, like and share all of the videos that you can, as it helps with the algorithm. Have a great day.